Hey everybody, doing something very simple here today. Happy Thanksgiving. It's 2016. We have just picked these oysters out of our garden this morning, and I shucked them, and we are going to do oysters Rockefeller. This is a very simple recipe that actually it's one of my favorites because it's so easy, inexpensive to do. And I think if you get oyster Rockefeller, it's too complex, you don't get to taste the oyster. So anyway, everybody knows about this stuff. It's, I'm not going to tell you the name of it, but it's basically cream spinach. So you can buy that at your local grocery store. Just dump it on in the frying pan here. You want to heat it on up. Get all this out of here. And this, one of the great things about this is it's already got the cream in it, the basic cream in it. But I do add a little bit of canned milk. Y'all know what that is. And dump a little bit of this in there. And this is the one I like. Now, I have tried so many different recipes and a lot of different cheeses. And this is a very simple one. This is about 2/3 of a cup. You see how many oysters we got here? I think we got about 2 dozen. And I put this is 2/3 of a cup. Well, there's some of it. That's about 2/3 of a cup right there. And we'll stir that on in. So this is relatively real fast, real easy. I guess the biggest thing is shucking the oysters. Now, after you get this going, to kind of keep it a little bit crispy, I don't want to cook these too much. Whoops. You want to put a couple green onions in. And this gives it a little bit of a crunch. That's the part I like about it. And also, you want to get them just about like that there. So you can see a little bit of the visual thing of the green. We do eat with our eyes. So just cut that up. And just throw that on in there. And this will give you a little bit of a crunch. Okay, so basically this is about right where you want it. I'll cut that off. And so right now, you just take this and spoon it onto all your oysters. The one thing I want to say about this is when I do shuck them, in an earlier video that I did earlier today, I tried to get most of the liquor, the oyster liquor, off of it because when you cook it, they will produce a lot of liquor. And I've noticed by cooking all the recipes I've tried that you want to try to get most of the liquor off of this that you can. Just want to also say most of these oysters don't have any spats on them. As earlier I made a recipe for oyster stuffing, and most of those oysters that had the little baby spats that attached themselves, they're already back over in the water, so they're still living and they're still, you know, producing. And that's what we want to do. We want to make this world a little bit better place, and so I got my own little personal oyster reef that produces so much, and we will go into more depth of that. The biggest thing I can say is my little princess girl that I'm with, who I love so much, she enjoys this recipe, and we enjoy sharing it with others. So it's very simple. And now, over there, you want to take a little bit of panko breadcrumbs. And sprinkle some over the top, a little bit of crunch. It also has a very good visual effect that you want to put on top of them. Most of the time we only make about, at the tops, 12 Oysters Rockefeller. That with a salad, that's more than any person should eat. But it is Thanksgiving. We got a bunch of people coming over, and they do like oysters. And we grow them just right in our backyard. Very simple. I want to encourage y'all to go and try this. As you'll see in my other videos, how simple it is and how inexpensive it is. Leanne and I want to do something a little bit better for the world, and we're going to try to make a very good YouTube channel, and we're going to show you all how to do it inexpensively. I ain't got a lot of money, so I got to do stuff inexpensively. And alright, so I do that right there. Now this is one thing that I like to do is I take a little bit of canola oil or spray olive oil. And she's going to probably get pissed off at me here, but that's alright. It won't be the first time, won't be the last time. I spray a little bit right here, and this will coat the panko breadcrumbs, and when you cook it in the oven, it'll get a little bit brown, give you something, a little bit of crunch, but it really tastes good. That's a very simple recipe. You saw I threw it together really fast, not a lot of expensive ingredients. The oysters, these guys right here, are right at about a year old. Leanne will go more into the scientific part. I can't even pronounce some of the words, so we just want y'all to go out and try to do this. It's a really fun thing for you and your significant other to be able to go out and do. So, happy Thanksgiving 2016. See y'all guys later. Hey, bake these for about 10 minutes. Get them a little bit gold on top if you can. You don't want to over dry them. And 350 degrees or 375. Some people will even take like a blowtorch and toast them up top. The biggest thing you want to do, you don't want to overcook them, and you want it to be a little bit moist. Happy Thanksgiving.